Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 21st of May 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use my deck of cards today, the Gregory Scott Tarot. You can see my lovely handwriting on this. I scribbled all over it. When I was at school, actually, in the last year, like when I was 18, they, because the exams were handwritten, my English teacher suggested, it suggested very strongly, that I take a handwriting refresher course because my handwriting was so bad and illegible that they were worried with the exams, they just not marked them. It worked out in the end, but that's an interesting story. Never mind. Anyway, I just mentioned that because I saw the handwriting on the deck. Let's see what the cards have to say about Saturday, the 21st of May, and what's coming up for you. First card is the Two of Wands, lovely. The Nine of Swords, less lovely. And then the Hanged Man, perfect. Oh, so the Hanged Man is a change in perspective. It's enlightenment. It's realizing that, hey, I did this incorrectly and that's why it didn't work out, so I'm going to take responsibility for it and do it differently in future. It's that simple process of, okay, this didn't work out, I understand it now, and I'm going to behave differently moving forward. And I think the choice is between these two. Are you going to be optimistic about the future and you're going to try and divine all these amazing things that can happen to you and have faith that the world is good and that there are, these beautiful forests out there with sparkling lights and things? Or are you going to try and control the situation by worrying over it and not having any faith that things could get any better, and then just driving yourself around the bend in the process? So the way I'm saying that is, what my answer is. I definitely think this is a better option than this. And the cards are saying that you can kind of choose your mindset today. Because of the Hanged Man, he's the one who's becoming enlightened. He's been given the time to reflect. That's a euphemism for being hung up on a tree. I have time to reflect about my life. And because you have that time, these are the two options. And obviously this leads somewhere and this doesn't. She's going to go through the forest and explore new things and see little animals and stuff. He's going to sit there and either lie in bed sweating, or he's going to go to the kitchen and have a cup of tea and get on with his day or whatever. But it's not as positive because you're operating under all this negativity, and it's optional today. Nice. I wish that was always the case. Okay, so the Two of Wands. We've got this young woman, red hair. It's autumn time, all the leaves are red, and it's about enjoying all the colors in life, but also finding that fire within yourself and saying, I do have things that I care about, despite all my worries and despite all the fears I have in my regular life. I'm going to look into my crystal ball here. In the regular tarot, the Two of Wands is a young man holding the world in the palm of his hand, right? And the message is that the world's his oyster, and he can go where he wants and he can live however he wants. All he needs to do is decide what he's passionate about, and then these wands, his desires, create a doorway which he can kind of traipse through and go on his happy little merry way. But here I wanted a crystal ball because it means that not only, or what I wanted it to mean is that not only is the world your oyster, but the whole universe is. And it doesn't mean you can take a space shuttle to the moon or whatever, but it means that if you can think it, if you can dream it, it can come true, even if it doesn't exist on this planet just yet. Because what I'm trying to express is that there's a reality outside planet Earth that when you become aware of it and channel it, you're the translator, you're the intermediary, you can bring it into the world. And if you're doing that, then you're going to have a much better path ahead of you instead of doing something that already exists in the real world, I feel. If you create something totally unique and fresh, then that's much more exciting than, I don't know, going to the website and saying which data entry positions are available in my area, just as an example. So there's an opportunity for you to catch a glimpse of your ideal future. And because we have all this forest, earthy, fire stuff, immediately what's going to make sense to you is how you can move ahead with that. So it's the season of opportunity. It's kind of the season of setting new goals and not taking no for an answer, and having faith that your life can be beyond your wildest dreams and fun and amazing if only you're willing to look at what could be. The Nine of Swords then is worry. So this is someone at 3 a.m, oh my God, either like he looks like he's just woken up from a bad dream and he's covered in sweat. So it's thoughts that are outside of your control that impose themselves on you. So the swords, they're kind of pointing at him, and it feels like, oh my God, wherever I turn, it's just like everything's difficult. So instead of trying to overthink things and criticize yourself even, particularly with negativity and stuff, and how's this going to work out? Instead of trying to control the situation like that via your thinking and experience and logic and applying what could happen and what is the most likely outcome here, instead be willing to look at what could be. Excuse me. Be willing to receive the messages that you're getting in your dreams or via your intuition or via the world, symbols and signs that you're seeing. But take the good with the bad. And if there's something unpleasant, it doesn't mean that it's all going to be that way. So that's kind of interesting, because now the Nine of Swords kind of qualifies the first card, and it says, yes, you can become aware of a different type of future, but it's not going to be presented to you just as one, ta-da, here's your 5-year plan, go and live it and feel good about it. You kind of muddle your way through by not letting yourself get sucked into the negative thinking, and instead focusing on your intuition and your feelings and things that seem to be constructive. But both are going to be around today. So I think an important thing to remember is, just because I think it doesn't make it true. I'm going to choose to be in faith rather than fear. And it's not my job to try and control everything in my life, because one, that's impossible. And second of all, there are good things coming into my life which I don't have any control of either. So it's a thankless task. I might as well relax. And the Hangman makes that possible. So this is someone who's got to a position where it's untenable and things aren't working out. And instead of just hanging there and saying, okay, once they cut me down, I'm going to get them back. I'm gonna, like leave a horse head in his bed or whatever. He's taking this opportunity to meditate and to say, how can I understand what's happened to me here so that I don't have to repeat it in future? But not only is he meditating, he's praying. So he's asking for help from his higher self, which is the same as his guides, his angels, the universe, the creator. And they're jumping in, coming to his rescue with answers. So this enlightenment is happening because he's asked for help and he's become willing to reflect. The sunlight is coming down, so help is available to you. So if you find that, oh, I'm just being super negative and I'm criticizing everything and I'm not looking at what I could do that's going to be fun and enjoyable and meaningful, then take a moment and say, okay, let me stop right there. Hey, universe, help me see this differently, please. I don't want to be this grumpy or defeatist or whatever. And then do you see this little mandrake root? I wanted them to put a cute little mandrake root in here. And that's kind of like the devil. Or I wanted it to be a symbol of the devil. Because the mandrake root to me symbolizes the element of earth. And it's because he was listening to the element of earth, he was looking at the outside world and not to his higher self, that he got himself in this position to begin with. And now he's ignoring the mandrake and he's listening to the higher realms instead. And that's what's going to turn this around and create the number 4 with his legs, which 4 in numerology represents security and structure and the kind of life where you aren't strung up on a tree every other week. So it's something to avoid. So not only are you seeing things clearly, you see inside of yourself differently. You can understand your own part in the situation much more effectively and take accountability and then change it. You could also feel guilty about it and just sweat and not do anything, but you're not doing that today because you're being constructive and productive. So you realize that no one's perfect, including you, and that you're simply going to alter the way you operate. I mean, it's as simple as that. You could say, oh, that was such an error and I lost 3 months of my life because I had to undo it all, and aren't I stupid, and I should just stay in the house forevermore because of that, because I feel so bad. That is not constructive. Nor is it you learning the lesson. It's just you rolling around in the lesson. Number-wise, we have 2 and 9 is 11. And 12 is 23. 2 and 3 is 5. And 5 in numerology is freedom. So it's freedom from worry by replacing it with faith. And not deliberately saying, okay, I'm going to be faithful now. It's just you feel the faith and you're like, I don't have to worry about every little thing because things are taken care of. They're in hand. Which to me sounds delightful. Certainly not, better than this. I hope you have a great day. What was I going to say? If you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology, and I combine all three. So if you have a question around your life purpose or relationships or finances, love life, travel, education, or you want to know how you can let go of worry, or to how to set new goals, or to have a spiritual awakening or moment of clarity, or anything at all really, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.